When a company launches a new console, you expect it to march forward confidently with the very best in gaming entertainment. Throughout the years, we've had the likes of Super Mario 64, Halo Combat Evolved, Soul Calibur, Tetris, that Firework game on PS2, each of these still relevant today in their own way, and more importantly, seen as titles that released alongside their hardware counterparts and said, damn it, we're a fucking big deal. With all this in mind, the question is simple. Why on earth did Sony think that Knack had any right being one of its flag bearers when the PlayStation 4 made its way into living rooms the world over in 2013? It's a conundrum that will unfortunately always elude us, but the facts are there for all to see. Don't think for a second that the Japanese giant didn't see Knack as a big deal either. Along with taking up a huge portion of our precious time at nearly every PS4 event prior to its shipping date, Sony seemed to take great pleasure in wheeling out Mark Cerny, a man built from 45% Android, 50% shopping TV host, and 5% creepiness, at any given opportunity so he could tell us all how flipping great Knack was gonna be. What sucks for you, Cerny, is that this tangled web of lies was only gonna last so long. When Knack was available to all, it soon became clear that it was utter garbage. What is this? The first problem came in the form of its visual style and the way it played. Knack was obviously supposed to be marketed at the demographic known as children. Now, the first issue here is that for months we have been sold on the idea that the PS4 was the console for the hardcore gamer. While no one knows what that even means anymore, at one point it met someone who liked Call of Duty, now you only have the privilege of attaching yourself to that label if you discover some shit indie game on Steam that no one has ever heard of, never mind played. I think we can all agree it didn't point to some monstrosity that can attach different elements to itself like it's some bastard offspring the king of all cosmos didn't know about. So, taking it at face value, in that it's aimed at kids, why the hell is Knack so hard? Throwing difficulty spikes at you when you least expect it, it even goes all Dark Souls on occasion, hurling unforeseeable hazards in your direction and then expecting you to know better for next time. Yeah, I do know better. I know to make it my life's work to go around and snap every Knack Blu-ray I see for the good of every child in the world. Just to make the whole ordeal even more confusing, SCE Japan Studios Abomination never changes its approach up. At all. What you're doing in the first minute is what you're doing during your last. Imagine shelling out hundreds of pounds for a new gaming machine and then being told this is all anyone could come up with. A game that would have been laughed out the room even on the Dreamcast. Abysmal. Worse than all this though is Knack's bewildering desire to be taken seriously when it comes to its narrative. Forget the fact you're dealing with things that look like this. You're supposed to become emotionally involved with the characters. That's almost as poorly thought out as Capcom thinking we were all going to get sad when we discovered Bionic Commando's mechanical arm was actually the embodiment of his dead wife. And that's not even a joke. Nor is it a spoiler we'll apologise for. It will always be a mystery why Knack was deemed important enough to carry the good ship PlayStation on its fourth maiden voyage, because it is genuinely atrocious. Alas, sometimes life just likes to flip you off. And when that happens, you've got to respond in kind.